I'm Summer Wolfgram, and I will be doing this video for Psychology 201 for David Snyder. The dispositions that I possess that make me a great teacher are that I'm very patient, I have great listening skills, I'm really good at multitasking, I am pretty good at communicating, and I have loads of empathy, and that doesn't just apply to my students, it applies to children and adults everywhere. The dispositions that I need to work on as a teacher would be my focus and my time management. I can get off on tangents, and that messes with my time management, and I lose focus, and I'm thinking, where am I at in my teaching? So focus and time management would be what I need to really work on in my dispositions. Attributes of a professional educator would be skills to communicate and being able to listen, as well as collaboration. Being able to adapt to your surroundings is also a big one. Having empathy and patience with all students, not just littles, but also big ones, teenagers. Engaging in your classroom is also a really big one. If you have a boring classroom, your students aren't going to thrive, they're not going to learn, and you don't want to set your students up for failure. Standards that need to be met would be to make sure that your students can learn in your environment, make sure that their learning differences, and because students can be up here with math, they can be down here with math, they can be up here with reading, down here with reading, and you want to make sure that you're meeting everyone's levels of learning and making sure that they thrive. Also, creating a happy learning environment is a really big one. Like I said before, you don't want to create this negative learning environment where the students do not enjoy coming to your class. Knowledge of the content as well as applying the content is also very important. And if you don't know the content, then your students are not going to know the content. And it is very, very important to be able to really make it stick like glue. The biggest one would be leadership. If you don't have great leadership skills, your students are going to run all over you. Dispositions that can positively and negatively influence the psychological and moral development of adolescents would be, if you're positive, upbeat all the time, and you're happy and have fun with your students, then of course they're going to learn and they're going to thrive, and all that information that you're giving them, not just the little ones, but the teenagers as well, it's going to stick in their brains, and they're going to remember that teacher. Oh, Miss Smith, she really, really helped me learn my math. And then as well as negative, if you're negative and just throwing the content at them and saying, oh, turn to page 32, and just not really giving them the reinforcement that they need to be positive, they're going to have very negative feelings about learning in your class, and they could apply that to other places as well. And so you want to keep an upbeat and positive attitude as much as you can. I know it's not always possible to do it 100%, but we need to try and strive for that. I think that I can uphold the expectations of my profession as a teacher would be by following the rules of the school guidelines, meeting all of the requirements in my classrooms, and keeping my students safe and happy. That's a big one. I will promote healthy moral development with my students in the future by making sure that each student feels that Miss Wolfgram really cares about them and their needs and their learning abilities, and making sure that they really understand what is laid out in front of them. I don't want to set my students up for failure, and if I set my students up for failure, that's setting me up for failure, and I don't want that for either one of us. I want my students to feel 100% comfortable coming and asking me pretty much anything, and I want my students to always think of me as a mom away from mom. And so those are my questions, those are my answers, and hope you enjoyed the video.